Good evening and welcome to SA Today. SA Chief of Staff Brittany Moore is giving the weekly address tonight, and Paulina Colon, the BEM chair, will discuss the upcoming elections. This is SA Today. The Vice President of Corporate Communications at the travel planning website GoGoBot is set to speak at this year's iSchool convocation. Kristen Canfield is a 2003 graduate of Newhouse and Whitman. Canfield started working at GoGoBot last December, but worked at LinkedIn for 7 years before that. The iSchool convocation ceremony will be held at 9 a.m. on May 9th. Pre-tenor, tenured, and full-time instructional faculty members received a job satisfaction survey. This survey will be taken nationally by many different universities. According to a February 16th news release, SU faculty responses will be compared to those of other institutions. The Collaborative on Academic Careers in Higher Education, better known as COACHE, which operates out of Harvard Graduate School of Education, will analyze the data once it is compiled. The final report will be sent out by this summer. District Attorney William Fitzpatrick is calling for a police substation at Destiny, USA. Syracuse.com hosted a live question and answer session with Fitzpatrick yesterday afternoon. One questioner asked if there had been any discussion of how to deal with crime at Destiny. Fitzpatrick said that no discussions have taken place, but he thinks that there should be a substation there. The mayor's press secretary wrote in an email to the Post-Standard that they don't usually put substations on private property. There is a new initiative to end smoking once and for all. 16 people have already registered for SU's second tobacco cessation support session. Cynthia Sari, the director of the smoking cessation at the State University of New York Upstate Medical University, is hopeful that the March 2nd session will reap the same positive results. If all goes to plan, a third faculty session will take place on May 26th. 2 firefighters were in the hospital yesterday afternoon after a house fire that displaced 7 people. One of the firefighters suffered minor burns, and the other was treated for smoke inhalation. 2 people were inside the house when the fire started, but neither suffered any injuries. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. The long-debated Keystone XL pipeline in Alaska will not be built anytime soon. Today, President Obama vetoed the bill approved by both houses of Congress for the building of the pipeline. The Senate will attempt to override the veto by March 3rd. Both houses of Congress need to support the override by a 2/3 majority in order for it to be successful. Shane Austin, accused for the 2011 killing of Tennessee nursing student Holly Bobo, committed suicide this past weekend. Austin signed an immunity agreement in March 2014, but was reported to be uncooperative in the investigation. 2 men, Zachary Adams and Jason Autry, have been arrested and charged for the kidnapping and sexual assault of Bobo since then. No trial has been, to date, set. Today, the U.S. Justice Department said it will not file charges against George Zimmerman, the man accused of killing teen Trayvon Martin. The Justice Department said it did not find enough evidence to support the accusation that Zimmerman intentionally violated Martin's civil rights in 2012. And Alaska just became the 3rd state to legalize recreational marijuana. Native leaders worry that legalization will corrupt Alaska's youth. Initiative backers have promised Native leaders that their communities will still have local control of these substances. Washington, D.C. is following Alaska's footsteps. In the District of Columbia, residents can grow and smoke small quantities of weed. Alaska and D.C. are some of the many trailblazers to come. American Horror Story actor Ben Wolfe died after being struck by a vehicle. After 4 days at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, Wolfe suffered from a stroke that ultimately ended his life. Zach Tepperman, Wolfe's publicist, notes that his family was by his side until the very end. The 4'4" actor will be missed for many years to come. The Secretary for the Department of Veteran Affairs is apologizing for incorrectly claiming that he served in Special Forces. Robert McDonald was speaking with a homeless veteran in Los Angeles when the man said he served in Special Forces. McDonald responded that he was also in Special Forces. McDonald completed training as an Army Ranger, but never served as one. Instead, he served in the 82nd Airborne Division, which doesn't qualify as a special force. CBS News caught the encounter on camera. McDonald has acknowledged that the statement was incorrect. There are 4 days left until the Department of Homeland Security funding runs out. Monday night, the Senate voted down a DHS funding bill that would roll back President Obama's executive action delaying deportations for immigrants. Senator Mitch McConnell announced a separate bill in hopes of stopping Obama's immigration move. DHS employees would pay the ultimate price for a delay in DHS. ISIS kidnapped as many as 90 Syrian Christians from a number of villages in northeast Syria. 3,000 people fled the area and escaped captivity. The villages along the Khabur River have seen heavy fighting between Kurdish forces and ISIS recently. The area is on the border of Turkey and Iraq and has been a target for airstrikes from the U.S.-led coalition. Student Association Chief of Staff Brittany Moore came to the studio earlier today to deliver her executive address. Here is what she had to say.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brittany Moore, the Chief of Staff for Student Association. Yesterday, Boris asked the Assembly to reconsider the Student Association name change bill, which would change the name of Student Government Association. The Assembly voted to rescind a section of the bill which would change the name. The Student Association will be staying Student Association. Last Friday, the deadline passed to submit petitions for the student body president and vice president. An official list of candidates will come out soon and elections will be held in late April. SA will be again running buses during spring break to and from New York City, New Jersey, Boston, Washington, D.C., and Philadelphia. Tickets can be purchased at the Sign box office. In addition, we had a bus run from College Place to Wegmans and Target for students this past Sunday. The bus will also run March 22nd, April 12th, and April 26th. We've had posted more content on our blog, which can be found at SyracuseStudentAssociation.wordpress.com. Don't forget to like Student Association on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at SA@SU for more information. Thank you.
Coming up, our interview with BEM Chair Paulina Colon, and what did SA change at their meeting last night? Stay tuned.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes
kids
you.
how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
The Student Association will not be changing its name. SA had voted to change their name to SGA, the Student Government Association, but at last night's meeting, President Boris Griezly called for a reconsideration of the name, and the idea was struck down in a vote. The Student Association has been around for 71 years and has functioned under a number of different names, including Student Government Association. Earlier today, we had the Student Association BEM Chair, Paulina Colon, in studio to talk about the latest SA initiatives. Here's what she had to say. So, Paulina, presidential and vice presidential election applications were due on the 20th. As the elections chair, can you tell us a little bit about what students can expect from this process and what students can expect next?
Yes, well, we had a couple of applications come in. We had one for president, one for comptroller, and It's not contested, but it's still gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a couple debates, campaigning from the candidates, and the elections will be on my slides April 13th through the 16th.
Okay, and this is the first essay election in 3 semesters, is that correct?
Yes.
So how should candidates prepare for this process?
Well, I think they have to do a lot of reaching out to constituents, just because it is a bit of a change.
Mm-hmm. And so why is it that this is the first time in 3 semesters? Typically a term is 2 semesters. What change made this happen?
We did some changes to the Constitution. So it used to run from January to December, but now it runs in an academic year. So it's from August to May.
So future candidates will be in term for 2 semesters, correct?
Yes.
All right, great. And what response did you guys get from the candlelit vigil last week that remembered the lives of those taken at UNC?
Well, we sponsored that event with the Muslim Student Association. We had a couple people from SA turn out to the event, and also a lot of people from the student body attended the event.
And lastly, the Day of Conversation is tomorrow, something that is part of the Fast Forward initiative. Can you tell us a little bit about what that will be, when it will be, and what students can expect from the event?
Yeah. So tomorrow, every group will be in the Goldstein Auditorium in Shine Student Center, and every group is going to have a table, and from 12 to 8 p.m. we're going to have representatives from each group talking to students, and students can give their feedback there. So, yeah. And
what can students participate in? Who they'll be talking to?
Okay.
What kind of conversations do you think they'll be able to have with these groups?
So we're gonna basically show them. We don't have the final draft, but we'll be showing them what we did in the fall semester, all of the things we recommended, and then we're gonna have them tell us if they like it or not, and they're gonna be just giving other things we could use for our final draft.
All right, great. Paulina, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Coming up, how can you protect yourself against this frigid winter, and who might be to blame? Stay tuned.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does.
And like that, you're a job creator.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy, and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought, and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Syracuse continues its streak of chilly temperatures. Tonight you can expect temperatures in the teens with a real feel of about 2 degrees and snow showers. Tomorrow you should definitely bundle up when you go outside, as there will be a high of 17 degrees, but temperatures will dip into the single digits at night. Well, an Elsa impersonator does not know when to let it go. The honorary Ice Queen took it upon herself to freeze the town's fountain in Harlan City, South Carolina. The pond, in question, thawed before police were able to document the icy mischief. Elsa was eventually set free due to lack of evidence. Well, folks, South Carolina locals may not be able to build a snowman that they can expect to appreciate this bitter princess's slick escape. And that's all for today. Follow us on Twitter at SA_today for the latest Student Association information, and tune into Citrus TV News tomorrow night at 6. I'm Topher Lane. Have a good night, Syracuse.